Here we go. It's another edition of First 11. Dave Johnson, along with the Hall of Famer Bruce Murray, of course, DC United and the New York Red Bulls. That's coming up on Saturday. We'll have the coverage for you on iHeart Sports DC, iHeart Radio app at 7:15, and you can sync with Apple TV. And DC United, oh, indeed, some momentum after Wednesday, the U.S. Open Cup against Charlotte FC.
Leal Abada putting the ball on the spot. Jordan Farr has made 3 saves in this penalty shootout. Whistle sounds. Abada approaches. And it's saved! It's saved! Jordan Farr! 4 saves! And it's on to the quarterfinals for DC United. Jordan Farr is mobbed by his teammates. Fireworks go off after Jordan Farr turned and saluted the Chico stand. Maybe they did. Will him to a penalty kick shootout victory. How about this DC United team? Down, but never out. And now they're not out of the U.S. Open Cup. The quarterfinals await.
Yeah, Bruce Murray, let's bring you in. Have you ever seen anything like that? Jordan Farr coming through, a substitute, and the way he made those saves.
I have never ever seen that, and I've been in this game a long time. To make 4 saves in such an important game. I mean, again, I said it on the air. Troy Lesane, the substitution of the year.
And then, of course, you talked about in the broadcast a different Jackson Hopkins you were seeing.
Dave, I saw a mature, stronger, confident player who was driving through the midfield. He was breaking the lines with the dribble, not just looking to get rid of the ball and be safe. And, Jackson Hopkins looked like an all-star. I mean, for the time he was on the field. And I know it's a short sample size, but I'm excited about that opportunity.
Hopkins turns, weaves, darts, drives, sprays it to Stroud. Stroud, the cross, ricochets. Now Hopkins again! It's in the net. There it is. There it is. Jackson Hopkins. He's done it. Oh, he's done it. 47 appearances for DC United. Working so hard. Finally, Jackson Hopkins. Oh, he's broken through and what a time to break through.
Dave Johnson, you have been waiting to call that goal.
And how about Garrison Tubbs? Once loaned out to Loudoun United, making the big difference.
Peltola. Wide it goes to Leal. Leal's cross takes a bounce. Now the shot taken. Goal. It's in the net. Garrison Tubbs. Garrison Tubbs. Oh my goodness. Garrison Tubbs. What a time for your first ever DC United goal. Round of 16, U.S. Open Cup to equalize in the 86th minute. What a goal.
Dave, if there is a player that deserves this more than Garrison Tubbs, you tell me, because Garrison Tubbs has played every position he has been asked. He has come off the bench. He has started. He has marked the best players. He put in an unbelievable shift last week and on Wednesday night. Garrison Tubbs, like I said on the air, his agent needs to get DC United, get the pen out. Let's get this thing sorted full time.
And Dominic Baggi joined us at halftime, and he said, well, we have not seen the best of David Schnegg.
No, I completely disagree with Baggi because he's unbelievable. I mean, I haven't seen a player go up and down the line like that. I mean, there's a gentleman named Andy Robertson, who's the left back for Liverpool. He's the only guy. There was a guy named Marcelo for Real Madrid. On the other side, you have Aaron Herrera, who's always going forward. And David Schnegg now is looking for long balls. I mean, the other night, he must have hit 4 or 5, maybe even 6 balls right to Herrera, 60 yards away. I mean, David Schnegg, and the goal, holy smokes, what a goal that was.
Now right of the circle, Tubbs. Tubbs sprays it wide to Herrera. Maybe something on here. Herrera right of the area, gets across, bounces by Kojima. Schnegg, the shot! It's in the net! Oh, David Schnegg! One-times it with the left foot. Buries it home, and DC United leads 1-0. What a goal!
absolute hammered him.
And also, notice we look ahead to this weekend. Kristian Fletcher made a real difference. And this is what we talk about all the time in the broadcast. For all the tactics, you need players that can go at defenders 1v1.
I'm seeing, again, a guy that came in from Nottingham Forest, took advantage of his time over in England and learned how to be a winger. There's great wingers in the English game still, and that's one of the only leagues where there is true wingers. Okay, so he's come back and he's running at people, and he reminds me his performance the other day of Quinn Sullivan and Jack McGlynn, both called into U.S. soccer camp because Pochettino needs wingers. He needs wingers in his system, and I know it sounds crazy, but he's looking for wingers. So if he can get himself in the roster, get himself in shape, get himself a couple of goals and run at people, he may catch the eye of U.S. soccer. It's not about like the name. It's about what they need.
All right, so in your mind, against the Red Bulls coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about Red Bulls, one of the best team in the league at turning you over and taking off like, 5 fighter jets. The difference is we figured everything out after that San Jose, 6-1 shellacking that we took. It was a tough game, but we learned from a lot in that game. So I'm not worried about that. There was a couple of giveaways at the back. But you could also blame it on the rain, whatever it was. But we can't afford that because in this league, I truly believe it's about 50%. If you just give the ball away for fun, it's going to end up in your goal 50% of the time.
All right. With Bruce Murray, I'm Dave Johnson. Thanks for your time on First 11. Again, DC United New York Red Bulls, 7:15, iHeart Sports DC, iHeart Radio app, and you can sync with Apple TV. And keep tuning in and listening for another edition of First 11, wherever you get your podcasts.